Big Questions with the Dead Milkmen.
Greetings, gherkins. Before we get started tonight, just a heads up, I have managed to contract bronchitis, so I will be a little bit wheezy, and instead of my usual energy level, which is an entire room full of toddlers on a sugar high, I'm down to about 4 or 5 toddlers on a sugar high. So just please bear with me. All right, let's get moving. On average, about 40% of you get on the internet is actually controlled by only 6 corporations. Now, the internet didn't always be like this. If you go back 2 decades, the internet was a wild and woolly place full of millions of websites controlled by weirdos, and all overseen by a great being who was called Ben Schumin. So back in 2002, either the greatest or lowest event in the history of the internet took place, as a web page appeared entitled Lion King Fans Remember 9/11. Now, we're not going to show you any pictures of this. You could probably, I think most traces of it have been wiped out. You can probably go find it somewhere. And we'll put a link to an article that has I think a link to some My Little Pony 9/11 stuff, but we will not show you images of the internet. Anyway, of Lion King Fans Remember 9/11. Anywho, to memorialize this great event that happened 21 years ago, or at least that's the best excuse we can come up with. The show's been on for 3 years and we're running out of ideas. What we're going to do tonight is we're going to have a bad fan art scavenger hunt. All right. Again, just like after the first anniversary of 9/11, they worked in Lion King with the Twin Towers. We went out and we scoured the internet for the worst fan art that we could find. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you pics of the fan art that we found. Take a brief second for all of you to jot down and guess what that picture is of. And are you in for some treats? And then we will go around guessing what it is. So we will begin by putting up the picture of the one that I found. This is the first one. You can see right here. And I found this, by the way, from the site for the British tabloid The Sun, which is not a favorite reading material of mine. It's basically the Daily Mail, or for people, The Sun is for people who find the Daily Mail to be too intellectual. So, all right, take a good look at it, and then now jot down who you think this person is. All right. And we're going to go around and we're going to all talk about it. So I won't tell you who it is. We'll go around and guess. And I think we start with Joe. Joe?
What is my guess? I jotted it down.
No, Joe. What is the capital of Estonia? Yes. What is your guess? What do you think?
I think it's Mick Jagger of the Rolling Stones.
Okay. And that takes us over.
It down.
You probably don't have to write it down. The show's not that important and we can't see it. And Dan, who do you think it is?
I also said Mick Jagger.
Okay, thank you. And Dean?
Yes, my guess was Mick Jagger as well.
Yeah, I like to think of it as Romulan Mick Jagger. like some sort of Star Trek crossover. You know, like could it be, you know how they have that slash fan fiction where it's like, you know, Star Wars and meets the Backstreet Boys and stuff like that. That was very randy. Yes, that is indeed what I like to call Romulan Mick Jagger. I hate to thank the Sun for anything. It's a terrible.
I guess will you provide the link to that? Because like, in what context did the paper post that?
They actually had it up there when I had the idea first, and then when I was going through and looking for weird fan art, they had a thing like, can you guess who these are supposed to be? And I was like, I already had this idea, The Sun. So put up, make sure when you turn your stuff, turn your links so people can go back and see what the hell, why these things exist. And speaking of what the hell and why, unless anybody has anything else they want to add to Romulan Mick Jagger. Okay, so we're going to move on to the one that Joe submitted. Putting it up now, you can start writing down.
Okay, so
you're probably busy gouging out your eyes. Joe, no clues, Joe, until I'm done preparing the audience.
All right, I won't give you any
we may have to
clues at
censor
all.
part of it because you.
Maybe I didn't get the whole
Yeah.
picture. Is it cut off?
It's not
Anyway,
cut off.
it's
It's a painting.
it's a
painting.
pancake. He's got
It's
a pancake.
There's
I
a
don't
pancake.
know pancake where his genitals are.
Pancake that I couldn't see.
And in the background is melted butter
What's heating the butter?
in the cloud.
It's pancakes and syrup, I thought.
Well,
It's a levitating
Yeah, there's
pancake
syrup
with
splashing
maple
on-
syrup and butter.
Oh yeah, thank you. Didn't have to share.
And the pancake is levitating around his groin area. I,
I think he's holding it with his other hand. Yeah.
Syrup
It's
is
just there.
pouring up his body too.
Yeah, and
And there's like a buttery sun in the background.
there's going to be
Like
short and curlies. It's the moon, but the moon is butter. There's going to be short and curlies.
Butter has a lot to do with this.
Yeah,
Okay.
folks, we're probably going to have to censor it, which means we're going to have to break out the Randy McNally head again.
Okay, what's
All
your
right,
guesses? Rodney's
Okay,
first.
I'm going to guess first. I think at first I thought kind of like a James Dean, but we're doing musical people. And then I thought
It's
maybe
music.
Sting.
It's music.
Hmm.
It's music.
Yes. Yes, it's music to our eyes and ears, Joe. Okay, so
Smooth as butter.
I'm guessing that remember in Doom when Sting came out and he was like, I will kill him, and he had the little weird jockstrappy thing. I'm only guessing Sting because I have a pile of possible celebrity cards next to me, and it was either Sting or the late Judy Garland, and I went with Sting. Dan, you want to venture a guess?
My guess is Justin Bieber.
Okay.
That's a possibility. Oh,
I have two guesses. One is Justin Bieber, but another one is Elvis Presley, a young Elvis Presley.
Oh, that's good.
like in the army.
Well, Dean, you're half right, and Dan is totally right.
Okay.
It's Justin
Wait,
Bieber.
what?
I've never won anything.
And I didn't recognize him myself. To find this, I did a Google search. I know who it is. I know who Justin Bieber is. I did a Google search for bad fan art, the Kinks, and nothing. And then I did it on images, and I didn't see a single picture of the Kinks, but I saw some bondage and whatever. And this one caught my eye. So, and I didn't recognize him, but I clicked on it to see, where the context was, and it turns out it's Justin Bieber
Yeah, we know that.
before his tattoos. So that's probably why he doesn't have tattoos, so you don't recognize him that way.
We don't care
But he's
about
a
the
young
tattoos.
one.
Why
But
the pancake? We just want to know why the pancake.
There's a story behind it too that I learned. This painting was sold on Etsy to the American rapper Macklemore, who also I never heard of, but now I know Macklemore is the rapper, and he bought it and put it in his studio. I guess he paid. And there are more than one articles on the internet about it if you want to search it that way. But it's Justin Bieber with pancakes. I don't know. So there it is. It's fan art. It's a painting, and it's semi-famous for having been purchased by Macklemore.
Let's think for a minute of all the steps that had to make this thing happen. Somebody had to think of it. Then they had
to think of it, Rodney.
Then they had to put it for sale. Somebody had to buy it and display it in their studio.
Etsy. Yes. Macklemore.
Hey guys,
shops
I
at
suggest
Etsy.
that maybe next time we go into the recording studio, we go to Macklemore's studio.
Yeah. They probably don't turn the lights out there ever. People just scream. Oh, that
Right.
Banksy.
Thanks.
You'll never know what. Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
I'm impressed that people guessed who it was. That's good.
I did not, because I was just my focus was drawn to the pancakes. You know what I mean? But why?
Well, the pancakes maybe
I
they
mean,
have Elvis
It
Presley. I don't know
changes.
why, but,
Changes. Yeah. Maybe if it had bananas and bacon.
Yeah.
Also, it's not 1994. You're searching the internet. You actually went with Kinks. You went with fan art.
I wanted to see
Kinks.
something with the band, the Kinks, but I didn't. I stopped right there and took this one.
wise man. Yeah, I was going to throw in a thing. I don't know if I mentioned in the intro. It's going to be a bonus points for furry fan art, and if you can find. And I that was too cruel, but I did at one point, and I can't find it again. It was Fleetwood Mac portrayed as furries. It was. And I can't find it again. It's like some weird Lovecraftian thing where you go back to the store and the old man who ran the store and sold it isn't there anymore. All right, we will now move on to Dan's. We're going to put that up there. And I think this might be one that should be fairly easy to guess. If you can't guess who it is, get your service animal to guess. Have him bark twice. But I have many questions about this one. Okay, everybody at home, jot down your answers. And we will now start with me. This is Rick Astley.
I kind of thought at first it was Richie Valens, and I changed my mind and said it's a young Bob Dylan.
I can see a young Bob Dylan, but to be honest, I had no clue who this was.
It's Rick Astley. It looks like his freaking driver's license.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not
Astley.
trying to be racist. It looks slightly Asian in some way. I don't know.
Dan, tell him who it is.
Well, Rodney is never going to give you up.
It's Rick Astley.
Yeah. I'm surprised. When I look at it, I don't see it at all.
Here's the thing, Dan. I have mixed feelings about this one. Okay. On one hand, it's not the worst one I've ever seen. It's not that one of Billie Eilish that looks like a frog.
I actually like the style of it. I just don't think it looks like him.
Here's what my problem with it. It's not horrible, but it's not great either. And you get into this uncanny valley with it.
It's got nice shading.
The more you stare at it, it's more like Appalachian Rick Astley. You know what I mean? If you just drew a banjo, ding, 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 ding. Well, what do you think, Rick Astley? Squeal like a pig. I'm never going to give you up.
Oh dear.
Yeah, the more I looked at it, the more fascinated I became by it. And I was just like, it probably is. Out of a lot, it's probably become my favorite. But I had a feeling, I thought most people just.
It is like the most expressionless face I've ever seen on a drawing of anything. He just feels nothing in this picture.
It's like a police sketch that is almost there. You know how when they catch the person from the police sketch and you go, "Boy, that was close." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when we get fan art, when people send us fan art of us, it generally looks like us. It's generally, I haven't seen people drawn things with us, and oftentimes Aleister Crowley, and they're going, "That's you," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." Well, I kind of look like Aleister Crowley late in life. All right, we are say goodbye to Rick Astley, everybody, but take a good look, because again, the more I look at that one, it's like a lava lamp. I can't look away. Or more like a car wreck when you slow down to look at a car wreck. Oh my God. All right, so these are Dean sent in two, and we're going to look at both of them. Okay.
All right, I'll do the first one. Okay.
Yeah.
The first one that I sent in, I'll be honest and say it's not musical.
Oh,
that's the only hint.
No,
I didn't realize it had to be musical. So, take a look at the first one.
all right. I thought I spelled that out. Okay, so now knowing it's not not musical, help you guess who it is. Also, the fact that it appears that this person has 5 fingers and a thumb, but that's just the way it's drawn. And still more anatomically correct than the Rick Astley one. All right, lock in your votes, folks. I thought it had a musical stuff. Well, we said musical, and I thought if it had to be musical, and Peter Gabriel would be happy with that.
No,
Peter Gabriel's walking around going, well, at least it doesn't look like Rick Astley, and I don't have pancakes over my dick. So I'm going to say Christopher Walken. Okay, and that would, I guess, take us to Joe for his guess.
Gordon Gano.
We said it wasn't musical. Well, Gordon Gano.
I thought, never mind.
I also guess Christopher Walken.
And Rodney and Dan are correct. It is Christopher Walken, or it's supposed to be Christopher Walken.
Again, can we look at that jacked up hand?
There's this insane attention to detail, but it's all in the wrong places.
Yes, exactly.
Do you know what it reminds me of? Did you ever take like a psych class in college where they would show you the film where they give people LSD and then they would draw what they see in front of them? And as the trip went on, this is like 8 hours into like orange window pane or LSD, and this is somebody really tripping balls drawing And I think it's supposed to be him. Maybe I was going to say at first, maybe from the Ichabod Crane one, the Legend of Sleepy Hollow, where he appears in that with the fangs. I don't think it is. I think it's just supposed to be generic. And I feel bad for Christopher Walken now because somebody probably walked up and handed that to him. And Christopher, I drew this of you, and he's probably polite. But yeah,
I can't tell if he's like repulsed or if he's like trying to whisper something, maybe like, or he's about to laugh.
He's showing everybody his extra thumb. He's like, how Anne Boleyn didn't really have a sixth finger, but he's just showing everybody. He's like, he's showing up at the audition, going, and I have an extra thumb. So, and that is nightmare material. All right, Dean, since you realize,
I think he needs some dental work too.
Well, that's because he had. I thought it would look like that because he had the fangs. Remember, and he filed down his teeth to points in on Legend of Sleepy Hollow. It's, what it is it's Christopher Walken made from every film he's ever been in. Combined with William Dafoe from Antichrist. The guy was drawing it, and he was trying to draw Christopher Walken, but he's watching Antichrist. Everyone, well, that's Dafoe. Oh, what the hell? I'll add Dafoe's thumb to Walken's hand. That'll be good. All right, and then we'll move on now to Dean's. Dean did do a second submission, which we're going to show now.
Yeah, this one is musical.
We'll debate that later.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but okay, everybody take a look. Now, there is a clue in this one. And if the clue wasn't there, you probably wouldn't get it.
Well, I hope nobody cheated and searched and saw this when they were searching online and made note of it.
No, I saw so many things that I got bronchitis. Literally, I got bronchitis from seeing these horrible, horrible things. All right, everybody, written in your guesses. So let's go. I will go first and say that's Ringo Starr. Dean, I don't know what's happening over there.
I'm sorry. Hold on one second.
Okay.
All right, there we go. Okay.
The only reason I know it's Ringo Starr is because there's drums in the picture, and also because the seats are empty.
But did he have a mustache? Did he ever have a mustache quite like? I'll say it's Neil Peart.
My guess is John Bonham from Led Zeppelin.
Oh, okay, that's a good one.
Dean, who the hell is it?
It is John Bonham. And Dan, you didn't cheat and find that image yourself, did you?
I did not.
Wow.
Okay, but
I would have thought because of the star glasses and the empty seats.
Buoyancy? I don't know.
But there's a twist. There's a twist. It's a piece of fan art of John Bonham playing in Parliament-Funkadelic.
Oh, weird. Did he ever really play?
Look at he's got like Bootsy glasses and stuff.
Yeah, Bootsy.
It's the mustache, the hair, the drumsticks, and then I just said, well, somebody's being creative with it.
Well, yeah, they were specifically going for John Bonham playing in Parliament-Funkadelic.
And look at the drumsticks.
I also thought you could have thought that it was George Harris
playing in Parliament-Funkadelic. Dean, look at the drumsticks. I didn't realize that they've got John Bonham as an early ally for LGBTQ+.
Yeah,
he's got
that's great. That's great. Yeah,
rainbow thing happening. Here's the other thing. I thought it was Ringo. I was going to say, if you didn't know who it was, you might think it was like a pimp from like a 70s movie or TV show, like Huggy Bear from Starsky and Hutch, because it does have that feathered cap pimp look.
Right. Yeah, definitely. That's the Parliament connection.
Who's the British comedian that had that line? He said, back when I was young, I was a ladies' man. Well, Judge said pimp. Wow. Why did they put him? Did it explain it on the website?
No, there was no explanation of why that was drawn that way.
Once you say John Bonham, I can see John Bonham.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm still having trouble. If you put pancakes over his name, that's what that is. It's not a symbol. It's pancakes. If you put hot butter on the symbols.
There's no hot butter or pancakes involved.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying if you put hot butter on the symbols, they look like pancakes. You could probably mix this all together. Also, I think what we should do is we should take that picture of Christopher Walken and put it up on the web as Peter Gabriel. See how long it takes that to get around. All right, I think we've damaged everybody enough tonight. People, we apologize for every little bit of this. And for any of you who go and look up Lion King fans, remember 9/11. Hey, Kitty, my kitty was just in here, one of my black cats. Okay, so let's move on to recommendations. Folks, because I had bronchitis, I didn't get a chance to get a lot of stuff together for this. So I'm just going to recommend 2 movies that I saw recently that I really liked. The first one was called Infinity Pool from 2023. Oh my God, that's this year. And I think this is like the 4th or 5th movie with Mia Goth in it that I've recommended on the show. I don't even know why they have a wardrobe department on any film with Mia Goth, because she's going to get naked. But she is a fantastic actress. Please, somebody give that woman an Oscar. And the other film I'm going to recommend is from 2018. It's called In Fabrique, and it's a movie about a haunted dress. And it is pretty much that if the Dead Milkmen made a movie, this would probably be it. It's really, and it took me forever to get around to seeing it, and I'm so happy I finally did. So again, Infinity Pool. Oh, they both have the same sort of beginning letters, so you can find them. You can have a little movie marathon night. Infinity Pool from 2023 and In Fabrique.
And I'm going to recommend a movie from 2012, which Hulu just recently recommended for me to watch, and I enjoyed it. Maybe you will too. It's called The Final Member. It's a documentary about the Icelandic Phallological Museum, which is a museum of penises or peni. And it's the only one of its kind in the world. So, and it's in a town that's like 30 miles from the Arctic Circle. Not that that matters, but the curator and the founder has supposedly collected peni from every mammal known to exist except one, which is human. And that's what the movie is. That's where the movie basically starts, and the drama is how his quest to obtain the human member, the final member for his museum.
Sure is.
And are there pancakes and syrup involved?
That's what's good. There's an international house of pancakes in the lobby. Let's go over to that penis museum and get some pancake.
Yeah. That's all.
That's
all for me. It's funny.
I would like to recommend a little music school in Doylestown called Nook. That's Nook twice. It's a creative music school for kids and teens and adults, and they've been nice enough to hire me to work for them. So, but don't say anything to my current boss, because I haven't put in my 2 weeks yet. So watching this, don't say anything yet. But I'm really excited to see what it's all about, and we'll have a link to the website for it.
It was a little one-room music school covered in pancakes. All right,
Till Dan Stevens.
I have a recommendation for a YouTube playlist from the Adam Savage Tested channel. It's a series of videos. He visits the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York Arms and Armor Conservation workshop, and you get to see how they conserve and restore ancient armor. They even have some tools that have been in use for hundreds of years, and they're still using them. It's pretty interesting. So there's like 4 or 5 videos in the playlist. I think that there's more coming, so bookmark it and check it out. I recommend it.
The Edda's been on a deep dive, because you know how we get on these deep dive. Oh, I was on the Animal Attack deep dive, and I kept finding all those things. This guy's written a book called Mauled, and there's a guy who got mauled, Canadian guy. So he's like, it's like, oh yeah, my buddy Gordy, he's been mauled too. But
Corey,
he actually got mauled, and then he took a selfie of him. It's like, just to see, because he was on the first day of his hunting trip, and he didn't want to have to go home. He goes, well, let's see how bad this is. And the bear ate like his eye down his face. Like, I could probably still stay out here for a while. It's the most Canadian thing ever. And then Vienna's been on a deep dive into the harem of the Sultanate, which means it's probably going to get more crowded around here. I hope. I can only hope.